Hey there, friends. A happy Sunday to you. I'm King 5 meteorologist Ashley Ruiz with a look at your Sunday morning forecast. As we head into the new work week, it's going to be quite active, especially later in the work week, which I'll break it all down for you coming up in a few minutes. But let's focus on today because we're going to have sun breaks. We're going to have scattered to numerous showers and maybe some thunderstorms. And it's going to be windy, not just for a few spots, everywhere. We'll get some wind gusts at least over 25 miles per hour. Fewer showers on Monday, but not completely dry, mostly dry Tuesday. And as I mentioned, heavier rain is expected later in the week. And I will go into deeper detail about all of this and what we can expect. But let's once again focus on today. Highs will be in the 50s and 60s. Our main impacts with today's weather: showers, isolated thunderstorms, and likely going to have the convergence zone kick up some more showers and thunderstorms into the afternoon. Additionally, the mountain snow generally above 4,500 feet. Not expecting any issues at Snoqualmie Pass, Stevens Pass, maybe a couple of inches of snow, but not expecting any major impacts to the passes by any means. But everyone, as I mentioned, going to have some gusty conditions. I wanted to take you to Bellevue. You see the beautiful fall colors on the trees, the raindrops as well. Likely going to have a lot of our fall foliage. The leaves start to come down because it is going to be wet. It's going to be blustery, not just today, especially later in the week. So here's a look at the radar from this morning, a radar loop of 3 hours. And you see how we're getting that break around Puget Sound from the Olympics, rain shadowing going on a little bit, but the rain coverage will taper as the day goes on, but we're still going to have showers and thunderstorms in the mix. So the severe weather outlook for today, the scale goes from 0 to 5. This is a level 0, so general and non-severe thunderstorms are possible. Lightning, gusty winds, some downpours, and in the heavier showers and maybe a thunderstorm, we could get some graupel or small hail. Additionally, given the environment that we have right now, wouldn't be surprised to see maybe a funnel cloud, but not expecting anything major out of this, kind of similar to last weekend. We had a few reports of a few funnel clouds, but once again, not completely worried about that. The risk is low, but not 0. So thunderstorms, once again, will be possible. So if you hear thunder, be sure to head indoors. If you have any watch parties planned for Game 6, just make sure you have somewhere to go in case you hear that thunder. Let's head up to Paradise, and you see all of that snow covering the fall foliage. This time last week, we had a winter wonderland. We had more snow than what you're seeing on the ground this morning, but still expecting potentially over 5 inches at Paradise. But the heaviest snow going to be in the northern Cascades, where there is a winter weather advisory in place through tonight. Snow totals 4 to 6 plus, potentially up to about 8 inches of snow in the higher elevations, and the highest snow totals will generally be above 5,000 feet. That continues through tonight. And you see the snow totals, estimated snow totals. It's showing you maybe a few inches of snow at Stevens Pass, Paradise, maybe 5 inches, Mount Baker, a little more than that. But it just goes to show that most of the precipitation falling at the lower levels going to be more so in the form of rain. Not going to have any major issues on the roads if you're passing through Snoqualmie Pass, even really Stevens Pass. Now let's talk about the wind, and you can see the camera shaking erratically. This has been the case all morning, but you also see sun breaks, and with sun breaks, that is just adding fuel to the atmosphere for some thunderstorms to develop, especially as we start to heat up and head into the afternoon. Max reported wind gusts since midnight. You see most spots at least close to 20 miles per hour in terms of wind gusts, but the coast seeing the strongest winds since midnight. But we're all going to turn windy, and frequent gusts over 25 to 35 miles per hour will be possible. And the strongest winds are expected to be through the strait, getting closer to Whidbey Island, and then potentially South Sound as well as we get that push of westerly winds. Into late tonight, the winds should start to die down a good bit, but will likely still be on the breezy side. Let's talk about the rain chances and the timing of the rain as we head into the second half of our Sunday. So you see rain and snow falling up into the mountains. We get that push of these showers and then orographic lift. So that's going to enhance the rain and the precipitation up in the mountains and then the foothills. Here's the afternoon hours. We have sun breaks. We have spotty to scattered showers. Some spots even wrapping up their Sunday with a good amount of sunshine. Here's later in the afternoon around first pitch, and you see how we get some of that convergence zone activity setting up, potentially around King County, even into Pierce County and northward. That will likely continue even after dark before tapering off late tonight. Now Monday, as I mentioned, there is that chance we get a couple of showers, but more so focused to the north and to the west of Seattle, but some of those showers could clip Seattle as well. But Tuesday, it's going to actually be quite lovely. Now let's talk about the middle half and second half of the week. So we're going to have one system moving in, likely going to be a quick moving system. That's going to send some rain over the area on Wednesday, especially in the second half of the day. Timing could definitely change between now and then. Initially, the model guidance was favoring Thursday and Friday being the wettest days. We're going to get a push and a pull of this atmospheric moisture, coming subtropical moisture moving in from the Pacific and atmospheric river setup. And this is going to send widespread heavy rain over the area. And now models are trending more Thursday night into Friday, and then potentially the system stalling out over the weekend, which would bring us rain, but it wouldn't be beneficial in a sense that because it would be so heavy and it would just be not nonstop, but it would be pretty persistent and consistent through the weekend and falling over some of the burn scars. That's going to be something to watch out for. The Olympic Peninsula, as you see, likely going to get the heaviest rain. This is through the next 7 days. So this next Saturday, Sunday, this is when it goes through. But it's showing the potential for Puget Sound 1 to 2 plus of rain, but that also takes into account today's rain, Wednesday's rain, but the heaviest rain comes later in the week. And then up in the mountains, it's still uncertain how low the snow levels come, but likely going to be high up. So that means some heavy rain falling over the mountains, and we'll have to watch out potentially for some river rises. But until then, as we get some higher resolution modeling data, as we get into Monday and Tuesday, we'll have a better feel of how much rain we're expecting, the intensity, and then the impacts. But for now, showers, increasing rain, heavy rain, and potentially some strong wind gusts later in the work week and into next weekend. But once again, today, going to be rainy at times, tapering off into the afternoon and sun breaks in the mix, except for where we get the convergence zone activity setting up. Now beyond the 7-day forecast, potentially into Halloween, temperatures are going to be close to normal. It's still obviously too early to tell if we're going to have any wet weather for Halloween. Let's hope we don't, if you don't want a soggy Friday, considering Halloween's on a Friday. And so you might want to be out a little later than that. So once again, here's a look at your 7-day forecast just to show you the not major temperature fluctuations. We're not talking any super cold nights, just going to be wet and blustery at times over the next couple of days.